Well, hello everyone. Today is Friday and today is a really good day. Today is going to be a really great day. There are a lot of really good things happening today. So, for starters, we have been at this for 8 weeks. 8 weeks is no joke. I mean, like being able to maintain anything for 8 weeks is already an accomplishment, and we've done it. We got 8 weeks under our belt. Is that how you say it? I think so. You know, we started this 8 weeks ago. As of today, we're starting week number 9. That's crazy. That's really, I'm taking a moment to celebrate that because 8 weeks is a lot. And so that was the first thing. Second thing is that today, for the first time, and this is something that we haven't really talked much about. I know I talked about it at the very beginning when I first started out, but my blood pressure wasn't great. And, you know, like we've always talked about here for the videos, it's not just about the weight loss, it's about health. Are we becoming healthier? And you know, a big part of that is the things that are a little less tangible, the things that are not as visible. So yeah, of course, you know, weight is very simple. You can see it. And that's why it's easy to sort of put all our eggs in the weight loss basket. But we could lose the weight and still be unhealthy. So this is all about like, are we becoming healthier? And the answer is, well, technically, yes. So today I got my very first completely normal and good blood pressure since we started this. Basically, the first readings when I started doing this 8 weeks ago were hypertension, like not type 2, was it called? Level 2 or something. You know, like it was like 140s over 90s, which, you know, it's not good. And today I got a 111 over 72. I mean, like that is perfect. So I know it's going to be a good day, but also because today we are finally going to get some answers, which is how much does my hair actually weigh? And take a good look at this. Please take a good look at it. It is long. It reaches all the way down to the floor. I can answer some questions. I guess, you know, the usual questions that people have with this is this all your hair? Yes, it's all my hair. When was the last time you cut your hair? The answer is 2004. So it's been over 20 years now. To be exact, January 2004 is when I last cut it. So it's been over 20 years since I last cut my hair. Are those extensions? No, they're not extensions. And it's funny because my dread guy, and yes, I have a dread guy. He always, you know, he's a purist, and so like he refuses to do dreads for, you know, like actually do dread extensions. But yeah, and you know, what is my dread guy? You know, well, I'll take you at some point and you'll see it. But basically, like all this loose hair that sometimes happens because my hair is not curly but really straight. That's what he kind of works on, and just, you know, general maintenance if they need a little bit. But today we are going to find out how much all this hair weighs, and I have devised a way to do it, and we're going to do it together. So let's take a look at it. We're also going to get our official weighing in of 8 weeks, you know, so how much have we lost in 8 weeks? Okay. So let's get started. I'm going to get fancy here, and we're also going to film over here to make sure that I got you there, I got you here, and let's do it. Let's drop shorts. To do this as close as possible as we always do it. Okay, let's get going. .305.2. So 305.2, and we started at 338.5. This is a 1.7 pound drop from yesterday. We're increasing in muscle. Our visceral fat started at like almost 11. So we are doing good, guys. We're doing really good. We're doing well. Okay, just letting this run the cycle. And now let's talk about how we're going to do this experiment. I think it's going to work. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's going to work. And it involves the way that I shower. So, if I were showering just like this, if I don't want to wash my hair, which I don't do very often, this would be a problem because it would get really wet. And the main issue with the dreads getting wet is that this is like a sponge. This thing soaks up water and doesn't release it. So then it takes forever to dry. And if you don't dry them properly, then they get moldy and you definitely don't want that. Also, I just remembering that I had a nightmare last night about losing the ends of some of my dreads. Like for some reason, like, oh, the hair is really old and, and then just like it gets really dry and it breaks. Because this is 20-year-old hair. This is like a time machine here. And also, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, I can do it later with a little more light, but look at the difference in color between the tips and the rest of my hair. You see it? Anyway, and so I basically at some point had to figure out a way to shower without my hair getting super wet. And so what I designed was this. I basically get this little thing and I go and I put it, put the hair through it, and we're gonna do a few loops. And then from there, I can hang it. What I do is I lower it and then I hang it. And you guys have seen me wearing this every once in a while, and that's it. And we're good to go. It's kind of out of the way. Now today, I was showing you. So then to shower, I basically just get in the shower here, and let's pretend that I'm on the other side, and I have this hook hanging here on the rod, and I basically just hang it. So let's say that we're in the shower, I hang it behind me, and this is the water, blah, 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 and I'm showering, and, I go like this, and basically just try to keep the water away from this, but this stays completely out of the way. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna hang it there, and then I'm gonna step on here. So let me move this back up, because we want it to be, as far, okay, so that's too much, pulling a little much. So let's go down a little more. All right, we ready for this? Because that way it'll really just keep everything as far away and just counteracting that weight. All right. All right, let's do it. Let's do this. Ooh, 302.4. So the amount is 2.8 pounds. What? I didn't know that was gonna be the case. 2.8. Wow. Okay, we gotta do this again. We need, for science. 2.8? That's honestly more than I thought it would be. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, let's try this again. I'm not 100% convinced. 2.8, wow. So let's go here. 305.1, Yes. Makes sense. So we're gaining 2.6. Okay, and now let's get this going again. Let's do it. So 2.6, 2.8. Wow, that's crazy, guys. Let's see if we can replicate it, if it actually works. All right, let's just move a little bit so I'm a little more comfortable. All right. So 302.8, 2.2. So this says 2.2, then it was 2.8. All right, should we do it one more time? Okay, let's do it one last time, and we're gonna get our final number and just kind of do like an average, I guess. What? This is crazy. This is exciting. I'm so excited. I'm so silly. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so we're getting on it again. 305.2, which is basically what we've been doing. So we had gone down 2.2, now we're up 2.4. So that's kind of, yeah, it's basically around the same. So I'll take an average of those three measurements and we'll figure out what it is. Okay, make sure that we are all right. Last one. $2.8 again. I think it's going to be around the 2.5. I'm going to say like the average that we got. What? This is crazy. All right. Let me just take a look at the numbers and, well, let's do it together. Let me go outside and we take a look at the numbers together and we figure out what the actual weight is. But this is crazy, right? Okay, here we go. This is kind of crazy. So the first measurement we took, it was 305.2. And then we took a measurement with the hair. The first measurement without the hair, I guess, was 302.4. Then we get on the scale again with hair and it's 305.1. We get on the scale again without the hair and it's 302.8. Went up a little bit. Then we get on the scale again, it's 305.2. And then we get on the scale again and it's without the hair and it's 302.4. Okay, 302.53 minus 305.16. So it's 2.62. All right, so 262 is what the average is. So, yeah, that's it. My hair weighs 2.62 pounds. So let's call it 2.6. Wow. I remember, so I had never mentioned it because, I wanted to do this, but the last time I weighed my hair was probably during the pandemic. So it's been like 4 years at least. Not maybe a little less, but somewhere around that time. And I remember it was like 1.5 pounds or something like that. So in the last 4 years, I've gained like almost 1 pound or like around 1 pound of hair. So it's not that much. I mean, like it's 2.6 in 20 years of growth. It is not a lot. I mean, and so one of the things that people ask me a lot is like, oh my God, your neck must hurt like crazy, or your neck must be so strong. When you think about it, like, yes, I mean, 2.6 pounds is significant, but I mean, it's 2.6 pounds over 20 years. It's so gradual, you just don't feel it. And honestly, the only reason I do this or I put it in the backpack or anything is just because it's, you know, I don't want to be stepping over my hair all the time, you know, and I don't want it dragging on the floor, especially when I'm outside and stuff like that, you know, because it's dirty and this thing picks up, again, it's like a duster, you know, it picks up everything. So that's the reason why I do it. It has nothing to do with the weight. So it's crazy to see that that's the case. So all right, so we're just gonna stick with the first two measurements for today. I'm gonna delete the other ones, but 305.2 is where we are. In the 8 weeks that we've been doing this, and you guys have seen everything, you know, it's, we have lost 33.3 pounds. It's crazy. And if you look at it, like this gray line, it represents the actual measurements. And then the blue line with the little dots is sort of the trend. And basically, this first sort of like slope down was everything that we did here, basically by ourselves. And then here where we have to, when we start trending up, that's when I fucking went to Texas. And that was a rough week, you know, and getting back and all that. And then we're down again in the last few days. It's kind of crazy. So this is exciting, guys. This is crazy. And we'll see who got, you know, I need to go back through the comments and try to figure out who got the closest. And we need to decide like what kind of reward that person gets. Because like, I don't know. I think everyone overestimated how much my hair would weigh. I would have underestimated. I didn't think that it had gained that much in the last like 4 years. But also when I last did it, I didn't do it like this. It was a little different and there was some margin of error there. I mean, there's always obviously margin of error, but I feel like this is a little more scientific than the other way that I did it, because I did it with like a luggage scale and I was like laying down and like my mom was like doing it, but I don't know if she did it right. Like, again, you know, you never know, but this seems slightly more scientific. So 2.6 pounds, who got the closest? I guess whoever did the lowest number is probably gonna get the closest, but we'll figure it out. And just, you know, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think the price should be, the reward? You know, let's not make it ridiculous, something that I could actually do, so. Okay, so I'm just putting a video together and I realized that we need to go and figure out who won. So I went through all the comments for that video, which was day 39, that we sort of, you know, started this like guess who's gonna, you know, how much my hair weighs. And we had, you know, like nobody was like super off, because like I've had people like, it's like 20 pounds, and of course not. But we had 8 pounds, 10 pounds. But basically there was one from Sandy Says that said 5.5 pounds. But the winner is actually Juju Just Me, or Juju Just Me, because you said 5.25 pounds. So you win. That was the closest. It was the lowest one. So that's it. You are the winner of the guess how much my hair weighs. You know, 5.25. It's still like double what it actually weighs, but you were the closest. So brilliant. Now, you know, what's your price? Please make it, you know, something that it's not going to cost a lot of money or anything. But yeah, but you know, like what would you like as a reward? I don't know. You know, you guys help me. I can't really think of anything, but you won the guessing of the weight of the hair game, and so you deserve a prize. Let's just, you know, I'll figure out something that, you know, I can afford, please. All right, back to the video. Thank you guys for all the support. Like, this is crazy. This is a way to fucking celebrate you know, 8 weeks of doing this. And so I also wanted to say, I know that some people have, you know, like asked and sort of wished me well on my travels and stuff. And for the most part, I have been trying to keep the content here focused on sort of like the weight loss and the health journey, but really mostly on the weight loss. And I guess in a way it has also been me trying to figure out like what to do. Like this process was new to me and I didn't know like what to do with it at first or what people would be interested in. And so I was just kind of focusing it on that. But one, I'm not going to stop doing this when I go to Argentina. It's just going to be, you know, I think it'll be interesting to see like how to approach weight loss when you're somewhere else, you know, like that kind of stuff. But sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm so excited about this. You know, it's a lot of weight loss and, you know, my blood pressure was for the first time perfect today. And like, I don't know how long it's been since I had that. So, but anyway, and so getting back to it, I'm not going to stop, and I think it'll be interesting to see, you know, what the process is when you're taking out of the sort of comfort of the U.S., because a lot of us think of the U.S. as, you know, very comfortable. But, you know, how do we approach this in other places where perhaps we don't have the comforts of Amazon and, you know, stuff like that we do here. But it's going to present different challenges. And so, no, I am not going to stop. You guys are all coming with me. We're all going to do this together. And so that's just is what it is. And I'm also looking to make sure that I start including more of, you know, everything that is going on. Because again, like I said, I've been keeping this focused on weight loss for the most part and just sort of like the foods and stuff. And now we're doing a little bit of the workout. But there's so much more that goes into a journey like this because there's the mindset, there's the mental health, there's the daily, you know, grind, the ins and out. And all of these things just contribute to this that we're doing. It doesn't exist in a bubble. And I also don't want to give anyone the wrong impression because like for the first few weeks, I did create a little bubble that I existed in. It was right here. And it was, you know, I could control everything. But you've seen how I've had to adjust as I had to step out of my bubble. And so I want to show more of that. So you guys are all coming with me. Don't worry, I'm not going to stop doing this. We're going together wherever I go, you go, and wherever I do, you guys do, and we're doing this together. And you get to see everything that I'm doing. And if I eventually get to be a healthy individual that has a healthy weight and all my markers are good and my blood work is good, like you guys will see, and there will be a record of everything that I have done to get there. And it will be a real life experience that is right there for everyone to see if they want to dissect it, if we want to look into it. Like it'll all be there. So thank you again for being with me so far. It's 8 weeks. This is so exciting. And you guys know what it is today. Today is Friday, which means that today we are going to be doing a workout together. So please go ahead and get all your stuff and get ready. Do whatever it is you need to do. I'm going to get ready myself. I will see you upstairs and we're going to do a workout. It's only 20 minutes, so there's no excuse. We're doing this. All right, see you in a bit. All right, let's do this. It is time for a workout. Today is Friday, so let's just, you know, try to get into it. I sort of lost my own a little bit. You guys know that this is not my favorite part of the day, but it is necessary to do it. So we're going to do it. Grab whatever it is that you're doing or, you know, whatever preparations you need. I got my kettlebell. It's a 50-pound kettlebell. I got my little guitar picks to keep count of my sets because I always forget or get distracted. So, and yeah, let's get into it. We can keep talking a little bit about this last 8 weeks. And, it's a good milestone. So, all right, we're nice and warmed up. I hope you are too. Do whatever you need to do. Oh, I got sleepy. Okay. Let's get ready. Oh, I don't have my gloves today because the little workout gloves that I've been wearing for the last few sessions, because I already packed them. And I didn't feel like going to dig through all of the packing, all the stuff to try to find them. So, all right. Let's do this. It always takes me so long to get into it. It's like, just fucking do it already, but oh well. All right. Here we go. 20 minutes, guys. We can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. First set down. So 8 weeks. A lot has happened in 8 weeks, but they also feel like they've just gone by so quickly. For the last few weeks, I guess, the last week or something, with everything that's going on surrounding my trip, my travel, my leaving the U.S., I feel like I'm in a little bit of a rut. And I don't know why that is. I just feel like we're still sticking with the program. We're still doing everything. But that sense of energy that I had at the beginning, that intrinsic motivation that I had at the beginning, is sort of, I don't know, not there anymore. I feel like my brain is so preoccupied with all the other things that I feel like I'm doing the bare minimum with this, as opposed to it being more of a priority. And I hope that makes sense, because at the end of the day, you guys are seeing me and I'm here day to day, but I feel like I don't even know how to say it, my emotional disposition should be more. My emotional commitment should be more. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is. It's difficult to put into words because it's a feeling, It's not something very specific, because technically we're still here and we're still doing all the things, right? We're still doing it day in and day out. But I feel like there's something that is missing. This sort of, that it's outside of the just check the box. And I don't like to, or I'm working towards not mindlessly just checking a box. I did it, but do it with mindfulness. I don't know if that makes any sense. Let's try to do another set. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Whew. Because it's not really about, at least for me, I'm trying to not have it just be this thing where I'm just sort of mindlessly going through it. But yeah, I think that's maybe the right term. I want to be more mindful of these things. And I feel like in a way I'm sort of half-assing it. And I feel like, for example, this whole week having one meal basically every day was more of, it wasn't planned. Even if it was exactly the same, the actions themselves hadn't changed at all. If we had decided that that's what we wanted to do. We had mindfully decided that that's what we needed to do. And then we were following through with that thing that we had decided to do, then it would be different, even if the actions were exactly the same. But the fact that it was more reactive than anything, I am so preoccupied with everything else that I'll get to it when I get to it, and then that intrinsic motivation, that feeling of being reactive to whatever else is happening around me is what I don't like. I don't like that. I'm not very happy about that. And I think the first step to doing something about it is becoming aware of it. So I'm just becoming aware of it over the last few days, just feeling like something is missing. Like I'm here, I'm still showing up, I'm trying to meet my, or at least in that sense, not overeat. Because that's the thing, I don't feel like I'm mindfully trying to meet my macros goals and things that I've committed to doing. But it's sort of like I'm being reactive, and as long as I don't fuck up, technically we're okay. But that shouldn't be the thing, it shouldn't be like that. Let me do another set. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. And so that's sort of something that's been on my mind, and it's been bugging me a little bit. And so I'm hoping, because there are other things going on again, and like I was saying a little earlier, I've been concentrating more on the nutrition and the weight loss portion of this, but I really want to give you guys a more holistic view of everything that's going on, in order to also understand that there are so many other factors in life that affect any kind of weight loss or health journey. I don't know if I love the word journey. I feel like it's so overused. My weight loss journey, my health journey. I don't know if there's something that resonates a little bit better with me, but I don't know. That's something that every time I say weight loss journey or health journey, I don't know, it feels like it's so overused, it doesn't really carry that same meaning. And to me, and I think that to a lot of you, this feels very meaningful, and so I wouldn't want to water down that by using a term that's overused. But yeah, there are so many other things that contribute to this that I want to make sure that I am mindfully presenting everything in as clear a way as I can, as transparent and honest way as I can, because there are so many things that influence something like this, because we're talking about a very difficult change in lifestyle that can't be summarized or boiled down to a few things. Do this, do that, because life is so complicated. It's so complex. All the different dynamics with family and work and mental health and all of these things, that basically reducing it to something that can be packaged nicely and sold. I don't know, maybe is that the reason why so many diet and exercise programs fail? Because they're trying to present something that is very complex in a simple way, and so when it doesn't work for someone, not because the program doesn't work, because if you were able to stick with the nutrition or the exercise, it would probably work. But there are so many other aspects of life that are playing a part in it not working. And so I'm trying to find a way to do that and be, that's why I'm showing. And I know that I really appreciate, a lot of you guys are always rooting for me and worrying a little bit and, telling me not to be so hard on myself. And I really appreciate that. But I'm doing this and I'm showing all of these things because, I know that a lot of you struggle with this kind of situation, or it resonates with you in a certain way. And so it's about understanding that this is what the process looks like and being able to show that this is what it looks like. It's not all like, oh, like the fucking commercials you see on TV that I see it all the time. This time around here, at least here in the US, there's a fucking Sonobello or something. I haven't looked into it, so I don't even know, like it might be a good thing but I don't know anything. All I know is it's a fucking commercial and it's like, oh, I lost something pounds and look at this. And it's simplifying a process, and I understand what they're trying to do. It's marketing, they're trying to sell a product, it's a business. I am not trying to take anything away from that, but it can be very discouraging when we're simplifying a very complex process and situation into some talking points that can sell something very quickly. And so this is my attempt at showing what I'm doing, all the good things, all the bad things, all the highs and all the downs that make something like this, the components that go into it, I guess is what I wanted to say. All right, let's do another set, because otherwise... All right, you guys ready? There you go. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. And yeah, that includes all the shit that goes down, all the really bad stuff, all the mental health struggles. And so I feel like in a lot of ways, like going to Texas really was kind of a turning point. And you guys saw it earlier when we were looking at the graphs for the weight loss, where we were, I guess, before Texas, we were still in our bubble, right? We only really ventured outside one day a week, which was Sundays, family day. But every other day, it was in here in this bubble. And so we have a whole week, go out for one day, and then we come straight back, and we're back in our bubble. So everything was very easy to control. And there's nothing wrong with that. For the most part, most people are able to have their bubble. But we start, that status quo starts getting challenged the moment we step outside of that bubble. And I feel like for me, that was Texas, because it was the first time that I was going to be away from my bubble for multiple days in an environment that I didn't control, where there were a lot of unknowns happening at all times, and you're hanging out with friends and family, and you're accommodating for everybody's situation, people who might or might not be doing what you're doing. And so that's when things get tricky, because we still have the ultimate goal of being able to be mindful and have a deeper sense of control over ourselves, regardless of the situation. So in that way, being in our bubble, I want to make sure that this thing is recording, yeah. Being in our bubble, we can control everything, right? And so in a way, we are controlling the environment, something external, so we don't have to control ourselves. Because at that point, especially when we're starting out, we're still very weak. We know that we don't have any control over ourselves. So we're trying our best to set up our environment in a way that it provides the control that we can't have over ourselves. Okay, let's get another sit in, and we'll continue exploring on this. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Halfway there. So we have this, we create this environment that we fully control, and that's what, there's a lot of advice about this. Make sure that you don't have bad food in your house and blah, 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 all this stuff. That makes perfect sense, total sense. And we're doing that because we don't yet have any type of control over ourselves, over our actions, which is what has led us to be here in the first place, barring some people who might be overweight or obese for any number of medical reasons. For most of us, it's a combination of, the environment, but ultimately not being able to make the right choices for ourselves, whether that's a mental health issue or an ignorance issue, like we don't know what's good for us. We thought this was good for us, but like that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, it's a matter of not being able to make the right decisions and in a way have control over our decisions internally. Because that's something that's the trickiest part, right? And so if we're thinking about an ultimate goal, I guess for me would be get to the point where there's complete serenity inside mentally, and we can mindfully and with complete self-awareness make the right choices for ourselves in a mindful way. And that's the trickiest part, because what is mindful, and that word sometimes is very difficult to explain, but mindful is with complete awareness of what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it, and knowing that, because you could mindfully also make bad choices and say fuck it, and that happens sometimes, but in that moment there's a sort of like a lapse of judgment. And we know that in the long term, it's not the right choice that we needed to make. And so it's being able, I guess the ultimate goal is to be able to get to a point where completely mindfully, even if it's not something that we want, we are not succumbing to what what our brain or our desires or our impulses tell us that we want, and actually understand that what we truly want is something different, and we're able to make that choice for ourselves. But it's hard. It's extremely difficult. It's very easy to talk about it, but it is a complete different thing to actually get there. All right, let's do another set, guys. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. And so that's the ultimate goal. And at the beginning, in our little bubble, like I was saying, we control the environment so that we don't need to control ourselves. But as we quickly learned, like I did going to Texas, you can't always control things externally, So this is something that gets talked about quite a bit in psychology books and meditation apps and, all that stuff. That is, we're always trying to exert some kind of control over external factors that we really can't control all the time. So, and so that instead, in order to become healthier individuals, not just physically, but mentally, we need to turn inwards. Sorry. We need to turn inward to the things that we can actually control. And so instead of wanting, trying to control something external, like making sure, I just want everybody to like me. Everybody has to like me. You can't control that, But something that you could control is, I'm just going to be an honest person, right? So that's sort of the difference between, in sort of more mental health aspect of this. You can't control outside factors, so you can't control the fact that maybe not everybody's going to like you, but you could control always being honest with everyone. And so it is sort of a similar thing health-wise, because in my bubble for the first few weeks, I controlled everything that was in the house in terms of food. So there was no bad food, so I can't eat anything. Yeah, and there's a little bit of mean, I could always go out and go get fast food, but you guys understand what I'm saying here. So we control that. But then at some point, you're going to venture out, you're going to step outside of your bubble, and you can't control what, let's say, like you get invited to a dinner, and you might not control what is going to be served, but you can control whether you choose to eat it or not, and so like somebody's going to offer you a glass of soda or pop, as they said in the Midwest. I love it. And you can decide whether or not you want to drink it, and so like you can't control someone, and you see this so often all the time, people really getting pissed and like, really, man? And it's not for them to control. It's like, I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly. People get really upset when somebody else does something, whether or not they realize what it means to the other person. So someone might be offering you a glass of soda thinking that they're being a gracious host, and the other person might be getting really upset with them because like, you know that I'm in a health journey and get really pissy. And I don't know, the other person's not fucking thinking about your life. And so you can't control that person trying to offer you a glass of soda, but you can control whether or not you decide to drink it. And so that's ultimately where we want to get to, so that, let me do this set and then I'll continue on this point. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. So we want to get to the point where even if we really want that glass of Dr. Pepper, my personal favorite, and we really fucking want it, we are able to mindfully and serenely, I don't even know if that's a word, say, no, thank you. Do you have any water instead? And not only be able to do it, but feel good about that decision and not have it wreck our day emotionally. And so I think that's the whole point of working on this thing in a more holistic, more mindful way. Because if we want this thing that we're trying to do, lose the weight, become healthier, improve your health span. Basically, that's where we need to get. And it has to do so much more. It's not just about controlling your environment or avoiding certain kinds of places or certain people, but it's just learning to control this inside. This, I guess is where the brain lives. So we just assume that. I was listening to I use a meditation app called Waking Up by this guy, Sam Harris. And meditation is something that I've tried to do on and on, off and on for years. It's been very difficult for me to stick with it. Years. And the one that I've liked the best so far, of all the ones that I've tried Headspace and Balance and like a bunch of different ones. This Waking Up by Sam Harris is really good because, as you guys already know, I am kind of a science nerd, numbers geek. I like the data and stuff. And his approach to meditation is much more science-based and fact-based. And the way that he explains everything from that perspective is very interesting. And so one of the things that we've been sort of like working on in the last few days is this idea of like we think of the self like existing up here in the head, but this is, some people are saying like, well, that's where the brain is, or et cetera, et cetera. And that's why we think of consciousness and the self as existing in this plane. But he was arguing that even if the brain existed like, I don't know, and like on your pelvis or your legs or your feet, we mostly think of the self as the self just because our like sensory input organs, like our eyes and our nose and our ear and our mouth, are in the head. So even if the brain wasn't here, because the input is coming from here, is why we think of the self as existing on this plane. Anyway, let me do another set. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. And so that's what the, hold on one second, I'm getting a call. Okay, sorry about that. Let's get another sit in. You guys ready? Here we go, 2 more sets, we're almost there. 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. So because I haven't been able to really sort of mindfully do this lately and sort of, again, be more mindful about what I'm doing that day and, what I'm choosing to eat and stuff. And I'm just sort of like trying to get by with the bare minimum. That's the thing that makes me feel a little bit like I'm half-assing this. And I don't know, I hope you guys, I'm convinced that you guys could see it, but I don't want you to feel like that my commitment to this is wavering in any way. I'm fully aware of it, and I don't want this to fizzle out, obviously. So I wanted to say that, and I wanted to make sure that you guys knew it and were aware of it, and that we're all aware of it, because it's not only about supporting each other, which it is, but it's also about keeping each other accountable. And so that's my idea, that is my goal. And and I appreciate all the concerns, but there really is no need to be concerned. I'm fine, and I'm just trying to share everything. I'm trying to share all the ups and downs, and I'm hoping that as this goes on, if it's something that you guys are still interested in, that I'll be able to show even more and not less of this entire thing that we're trying to accomplish, that, as we just spent 20 minutes talking about, has very little to do with food and exercise. I mean, it's a crucial component, but it's not the only thing. There are other things that are also equally important. And so I'm hoping that I can show you even more of the complexities of being human and going through, a transformation like this entails. And so I just need to, I've convinced myself that I just need to get through the stuff that I'm doing here, and then I'll get to Argentina and we'll be able to sort of refocus a little bit more. So no need to worry. Although, the only time that you would probably need to worry is if I disappear. If all of a sudden I stop posting videos and I disappear, that's when you guys should actually worry, because that means that whatever is happening is serious enough that is preventing me from doing this. And that's when people should worry. So again, I really, really appreciate all the support and people worrying about me and telling me not to be hard on myself. And I really appreciate it, but that's not really anything to worry about, because I'm still here and I'm still doing it, and I'm just showing everything. But the moment I disappear, that's when we should worry, because something happened. Something serious happened, either mentally or physically, or, who knows. All right, last thing. Last set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 96, 97, 98, 99, and 100. Yay. Okay. Done, son. Good job, guys. Good job on this. Now let's go and make some lunch, because it is time It is time for some lunchy lunch. All right, good job. See you in a bit. Okay, and we have decided to make another one of these Huel instant meal cups. Again, we're trying to get through this stuff that we bought, and so, you know, and it's not like we're eating shit. You know, it's still nutritionally complete food, as they say on their products and their website. But yeah, we're gonna do this. So we're gonna do this Korean barbecue. We're gonna do 36 grams of the spicy one. I like to mix them because it's a bit spicy for my taste these days. And we're gonna do 200 grams of chicken. We still have frozen chicken from, you know, way back. And we're doing some frozen asparagus that I found. And we're gonna do 20 grams of MCT powder and 10 grams of olive oil. So let's start with these babies. And this is our post-workout meal. So that's the Korean barbecue one. We're gonna do, what is it, 36 grams of the spicy one. Let's go for that. Oh, went overboard a little bit, 39 instead of 36, that's okay. Let's just adjust it real quick. And then let's add all the other goodies that we have for this post-workout meal. So we're gonna get some chicken, and we have our frozen chicken here that it's like uber frozen. And we need to get 200 grams of these. And I don't have my gloves. I don't have any. So 200, we're just gonna have to do it this way. 35, 68. $200 is quite a bit of chicken. 109, 113. All right, this should get us close to it. 159. Oh no. 172. It is so frozen. 183. See, the problem is that these chunks are too big now. 210. Damn it. And now my fingers are all greasy. All right, 210 of chicken. And then we're doing asparagus, MCT powder, and olive oil. So let's get you guys back in the freezer. Let's go ahead and do the MCT powder. We're gonna do 20 grams of the MCT powder, 10 grams of the olive oil. That's 14, 18, 19, oh, come on. That ought to do it. Come on, 20. There we go. And then we gotta do the olive oil. What was it? I'm having a moment where I don't remember. Oh, the asparagus. Asparagus, and it's 210 on the chicken, not 200. 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Okay. And this is how these meals come together, guys. There's a little bit of tinkering here and there, but 6 asparagus. So let's do this guy over here. And let's get 6 spears. And I'm just gonna break them so that they, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, very good. And then finally, we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil, and then we're going to put a little bit of water and put everything directly on the pot, just like that. There is no fancy cooking here. There might be a little bit in the future, but at least not right now. So we're doing 10 grams of olive oil. So we're gonna do, beautiful, 9, 12. 12 grams of olive oil. So we'll fix it, and then we'll take a look at all the macros for this meal after it cooks. Let me just fix the olive oil. Being 12 of olive oil. Good. All right. Gonna cook all this. We'll take a look. We'll taste it, and yeah, this is very nutritious lunch. Sorry. Well, and here we have it. Smells pretty good. So let's take a look at what the macros are for this. So this is the first thing I'm going to be eating today, and it's got 78 grams of carbs, 79 grams of protein, and 61 grams of fat. And that basically gets us to a little over halfway for all our carbs, protein, and fat for today, and is 1,177 calories. So again, about a little over halfway for all the calories we should be eating today. So let's try a little bit. We'll see how it is. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is pretty good. I mean, it does have some nice additions to it, but yeah, pretty good, guys. All right. I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna get back to work. But it has been a most productive day so far. We are starting month 3 with power. So let's eat, let's relax, and I'll see you guys for dinner. It's about 7 p.m. and yes, we are also having dinner today, and I am so excited because it just feels like a good day. Good things have happened today. I've had a very productive afternoon, getting a lot of things done, getting ready for traveling on Tuesday, finishing all this stuff. And there was a request around here for some Cheesecake Factory. And so you guys know what that means. For me, is the Steak Diane. And it's, yeah, it actually happens to line up perfectly with what I needed for my, macros for today. So let me just show you this. First, let's just take a look at the Steak Diane, which we've had before if you've seen some of the other videos. It's very simple. Mashed potatoes, beef, like this little beef medallions with mushrooms, and there's like a wine sauce. We haven't gotten it yet, and so, but I wanted to be, this video is already getting really long, so I just wanted to be done with this for today. So I am pre-recording, but this is what I will be having, and I won't be having anything else. So rest assured that that will be the case. So let's take a look at the macros, and here we have it. So it's 100. With this, we basically go over 2 grams for fat. We are 2 grams under for protein, so basically there. And 139 out of 150 for carbs. Perfect. And the Steak Diane dinner is 61 grams of carbs, so a little bit on the higher side. But 76 grams of protein and 65 grams of fat. So overall, nicely balanced. And yeah, that's what we got. That's what we're doing. So the final tally for today is 2,310 calories. And yeah, overall a pretty good day. We'll see if this does anything to my weight tomorrow. I keep thinking that tomorrow we need to weigh the hair again. Just got to do it again, just to make sure that, you know, we did it right. That we did it right. But I'm pretty sure we did it right. So. All right, guys, thank you for hanging in there. It was a good one today. It was a long one today, but I think it was worth it. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here and all the great support and participating. I think that we are starting something that is going to be very meaningful, and I feel very, very encouraged by that. So thank you again, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow I have a surprise. Yeah, I always remember these things. Tomorrow is going to be a really good day, and you guys are going to see why. It's a Saturday. It's my last Saturday here, and it's going to be fun. It's just going to be a great day. So I will see you guys tomorrow.